On April Fool's Day, NASA officially launched their Artemis II rocket, claiming to take humans back to the moon in 2026. Going back to the moon, however, would require us having actually gone there before, which myself and many other researchers have debunked beyond any shadow of a doubt in several previous videos, showing that the original NASA moon landings were faked in a studio on Earth. So now, over 50 years later, with half a century of technological developments, Artemis II isn't even claiming to land on the moon like Apollo, but merely flying by. So what proof are we being given that NASA is really sending people in orbit around the moon? As usual, we are shown a rocket launch from Kennedy Space Center in Florida, which performs the same parabolic arc that every rocket, missile, and other projectile shot into the sky does. Rather than shooting straight upwards towards the moon, which would be far more logical and look much more convincing, every rocket launch arcs from vertical to horizontal, and most you can even see beginning to arc back down to Earth before leaving view. NASA's excuse for this is that they are purposely doing this parabolic arc with all their rockets because of a super high-tech gamer gravity hack where the rockets are being caught in a gravity well that works like a slingshot to help propel them better to the moon. Yes, you heard right. The reason all these NASA rockets form a parabolic arc and look like they're about to drop into the ocean a few miles away is because going down is the best way to go up. So all the NASA nerds will look down their bifocals at you, smugly explaining what their overlords told them about gravity and slingshots, while they watch rocket after rocket launched eastwards from Fort Lauderdale, making parabolic arcs directly towards the Bermuda Triangle. Watch closely as the rocket goes from vertical to horizontal and out over the ocean, away from all observers' views. In one instant, it just disappears from view completely. Where has it gone? It goes from being clearly visible to there just being nothing discernible whatsoever, like it just vanished into thin air. Strangely enough, that's the second time a flying object just vanished into thin air that day. Watch this footage from just before the Artemis II was preparing to launch, and pay close attention to the airplane that flies into view from the right-hand side of the screen. Where did it go? The plane just completely vanishes from view, as if it disappeared behind a giant green screen. Watch it again in slow motion. Another oddity is the following footage showing these cable cars lowering from the rockets during launch. These are known as the emergency escape cable cars, allegedly used to get the astronauts out in the case of an emergency. They sure look like they're being used here at this last moment. How do we know that they're empty? The astronauts could easily have just hopped into those cable cars to be taken to the next studio where they sit in harnesses pretending to be in outer space. Did you know that NASA is the world's largest purchaser of helium? Helium is a stable and very light element used for sending balloons up into high altitude. NASA admittedly uses large amounts of helium to send up its satelloons, but what about these rockets? Look at this image of the Artemis II live on Fox News. What does that look like to you? Honestly looking, without bias, doesn't that look like a giant inflatable blow-up toy? Look at the seams and creases. Once the rocket is out of the public's view, after a couple minutes of genuine launch footage, true to form, NASA always switches to CGI. We can never get full, live, unedited video focused straight ahead of the rocket, or with a view focused on Earth. All we ever get is launch footage, cut to CGI like this for an hour, then whenever they're ready to restart the so-called live feed, here's what we get. Always a view with huge portions of the screen taken up by large random pieces of the craft. Then long blue screen outages lasting for minutes or sometimes hours, only to come back with another similar video of another large section of the craft in the foreground. Look at the supposed Earth in these videos. Why is it shaped like that? In every other image and video NASA releases of the Earth, it is perfectly circular. Why is it squished here? How can the Earth suddenly change shape this drastically? They always claim Earth is an oblate spheroid, but this is one of the only times I have ever seen NASA showing Earth actually looking that way. Also, where are all the satellites and stars? There should be tens of thousands of satellites floating around up there, but we never see any of them whizzing by. Another thing I guarantee we won't see is independent video from people filming with super zoom cameras capturing Artemis 2 during its slingshot around the Earth, nor during its trip around the moon. P900 and P1.
Yeah. Greetings. And here. And here we go. Holy shenanigans. My friends, we're not making flower beds over here. This is TRE, Bia.
Trey.
Up, you beautiful beings.
What up, what up, what up?
What up, what up, what up? Yo, what happened with Atlas 3, Chris? Are we still surfing Atlas 3 or did that go away?
I thought it was foe. Atlas foe.
I'm waiting on Atlas 4.
Atlas foe.
My velour. I got my velour outfit on, yo. I'm ready for Atlas 4, yo.
I heard Artemis 3 and Atlas 4 are going to come together. And
sheesh.
2 to 1. You know what I mean?
The Fantastic Four, bro. They're going to get them.
Yeah, man. Big explosion. Big fireworks.
Yeah, you know, Fantastic Four, they had to throw the bald black dude in as like the Thing, and then like what's his name? Dr. Reed is in charge. Captain Reed's in charge.
Pedro Pascal.
Oh my gosh, yo, people be believing this stuff, Chris. They is believing this.
Well, they got that picture of the Earth during the eclipse that's really bright.
Yeah, really bright. So
I don't know where the lighting's coming from.
I know when the sun's on the other side. Yeah.
That was a pretty absurd picture.
Yo, you just cast to believe this stuff, yo. Just cast to believe these things. While we're at war, while we're at Epstein's list, while we're the complete destruction of all energy coming around out there, Germany just last year destroyed their coal plant and their nuclear plant, so that'll be fun. No energy for y'all folks, but we can launch Artemis 2 and it can go around in squiggles.
We must have money somewhere, you know.
Oh man, they must got money somewhere.
I thought we were broke.
Yeah, y'all give me $1, yo. By the way, I'm gonna pull my I asked for $1 a couple weeks ago. My Venmo and what's the other one? Cash App, which is ghetto. My ghetto cat, all the ghetto-ness. I'm gonna pull them because no one gave me $1 but Chris Minor, yo.
Yeah, buddy.
So but I think you owe me 50 cents, so I think we're even.
Yeah. So we're even Stevens.
But what's funny, Chris, is someone was trying to break into my Venmo. I got a text like, "Are you asking to reset your password?" Like, oh, come on, yo.
Oh, really? I've been getting those for my face. I think it's Facebook or something. One of my social medias, and I'm just like, good luck.
Oh, well,
they're never gonna get in.
What's funny is you reap what you sow, because anytime someone wants a crypto donation, I always go, let me check their wallet publicly because it's free in public. Because they're dumb retards. Yo, bro, what's funny is, people believe, how do I even say this without hurting people's feelings? If you go, hey, I can do propulsion in a void because it spits out particles on its own, or it bounces. See the cone? See how it's a cone? Because it can bounce off itself and propel itself. It's like, oh man, I don't even know. Like, you smarted yourself out of just basic stuff. I don't even know what to tell you. So
Yeah, there's a lot of it's wild that what's going on, you know? It's wild stuff.
so many penis launches. I'm sorry, I just read. Yeah, it's got to be penis shaped.
Has to be.
Yo, Chris, yesterday my neighbor gave me a baked good.
Saying you got all sleepy, right?
Dude, I slept for 28 hours.
That's what happens, man.
Cause he's like, yo, they're powerful. I'm like, I know they're powerful because I could smell them through the bag. So around 2 p.m., I'm like, I can take half. You know, I'm a veteran. And then 7 hours later, we rock TRE. I'll be all right. Dude, I wasn't good. I'm still not good. I'm still feeling it. I'm still feeling it, bro. I slept. I woke up. I started feeling it around 4. I was like, yo, I need to lay down. And then 8 something came around. I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm watching the show Invincible. I'm watching, like, I'm gonna watch shows, and then at about 10 p.m., I went down, and I didn't wake up till like 7 a.m. this morning. You know,
Needed it, man. I've been sleeping a lot the past few days, but because I haven't been getting sleep at night as much, I've been waking up late in the afternoon. But I needed the rest too.
yeah, I was ready to crush, but I took that edible. You know, the real life, the edible got me, yo. I'm smoking. I'm smoking right now, but like, I still have a cookie and a half where I'm only going to use it for a coma. Do I want to go into a coma? That's when I go into a coma. Yeah.
It's not good for you, man.
It's not good for me?
If you need sleep, it is.
It's not good for me accomplishing tasks. That's for sure.
Well, the smoking isn't as good.
The smoking ain't so great, but I'm
That's
smoking
what
right now.
That's what I really meant.
And yo, I've been feeling better. So like, I'm gonna go back to work in the office on Tuesday.
Bum, 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 bum.
I told these cats, what's funny is like, if you go, oh, I'm not trying to work, and I told my people in respect to them, I haven't been in the office in like over a month, yo. I was like, I ain't coming in. I'm working from home. And they were really cool about it. They didn't say nothing about it. It wasn't even a big conversation. And I told them earlier this week, like, yo, I'll be in next week. I'm starting to feel better.
That's pretty chill.
It's pretty chill.
I mean, I'm sure you could do all the stuff, obviously, for work that you need at home. So
You can.
yeah. So I mean, it's like, what's the point?
What's the point, bro? What is the point? Especially, bro, wait till these cats. So I got a trade. I got a long futures trade in for crude oil right now. So it's at 109. If that sucker doubles with all the stuff going on, and I'm using 10x leverage, I'm not going to be a bajillionaire, but I'm going to make a little 5 figures on something.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It just makes sense. And for other dummies, so a quick crypto corner. We're not going to stay here. For other retards, I love. So like I was just like, let me see so in reference to the XRP retards who don't know how to research anything, despite sharing so much research, they don't seem to understand the research. How much does Ripple bang on them every month? So like April, they drop $1 billion on the 1st of every month. Okay. You can go and research how much did they drop on y'all in March and February and January and previously, right?
Are they burning it?
No, bro. They drop $1 billion XRP.
Oh, they do airdrops.
No. They dilute the supply.
Ah,
Drop it on the circulating supply.
okay.
Check AI when you
Yeah,
get
I know what you mean.
So they just go, cool, we're going to drop another $1 billion from the total supply to the circulating supply. $1 billion XRP at $1.30 is 1.3 billion for the month. And then they pull back what doesn't sell. So in forgive me if I get these months mixed up, they pulled back 700 million for April already, I believe. So that means they dropped 300 million in value in April. But in February, they dropped 700 million. So in the last couple months, they dropped $1 billion on y'all. And you wonder why something can't pump. And by the way, what they pull back. So if they drop $1 billion, right, and they pull back 300 million, that goes back into the coffers to dump on y'all later.
Mm-hmm.
They have so many not circulating. They could dump, and then when you buy an XRP crypto, it doesn't add value to the crypto. It adds value to the Ripple shareholders stock. They're not publicly traded, but a lot of these XRP don't tell you every single month they drop $1 billion on you, right? Y'all dumb son of a guns. That's why in a lot of my YouTube posts, so I've been posting a lot in the last month, just putting messages on YouTube going, keep these people accountable because they don't know nada. They don't research. They don't tell you how the code needs. Literally, XRP retards don't tell you how they need to rewrite the code. They haven't done that yet, have no plan. But every single month, they make anywhere from 300 million to 700 million off of you, take it away from crypto, and then put it into their private company. And then they use those funds for whatever they want. If you notice, not a single Ripple person has ever bought Ripple because if it's so valuable, because y'all don't know what's going on. Y'all got sold some shit. And all y'all in the echo chambers of that group just feeding each other retard. How's that Clarity Act working for you, y'all? Is that a thing? Is that a thing yet? Nah? Okay. That's what I thought. How's that XRPL working out for you? Yo, they have XRP made their own stable coin. It's called RLUSD, and 70% of it runs on Ethereum. You dumb heads. And by the way, Canton is about to wreck all y'all. That's the one making
It's not
full adoption with all the banks, etc. So like, and I say this, and then it's like, oh well, because these cats don't research nothing. They don't research the history. Like I like, they don't research. They don't go down to the source of the source of the source, and they think the government is going to do them some favors. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? You dumb?
I get dumb.
I get dumb. The
I
government
get dumb.
pass a thing, and I'm going to get rich. Has that ever happened ever once in the history of any single government ever anywhere? Has that ever happened? Yeah. So you got that going on, Chris. And these retards, if they're still talking bullish stuff, they're so dumb. They don't even know. Again, what I've been preaching, market cycles are undefeated. You dumb-dumbs. So all you people out there giving predictions, giving, hey, do this, do that, keep them accountable. And then keep someone like myself accountable, where I was like, we're switching gears in November. We're fucking selling everything. Weakness is there. The tops are in. See you later. By the way, privacy, right? All your privacy. The government is passing stuff, and you guys probably know this. Your financial privacy, your everything privacy. To get on the internet, age verification, all that And I share ways for years on how to avoid that. Yeah, I see you on the circle. So what you do instead is yeah, Clifford. Oh, you put some,
So that guy, Clifford Chance, apparently is the guy who ran Canton Network that you were just talking about, and he's part of the Magic Circle. Or Clifford Chance, the law firm. That law firm is in the Magic. I've never heard of this Magic Circle law firm. I thought that was pretty fucking wild that just popped up. The law firms in London, the London, what is it called? It's basically the informal term describing the 5 most prestigious London headquartered multinational law firms. So this is one of the guys behind Canton, one of the law firms behind Canton Network. So that shit's about to take over.
Yeah, Canton's built by Goldman Sachs. And by the way, you go, hey, you're listening, you go, cool, I don't care about crypto. No, I hear you. The thing is, there are digital, like you go, I don't care about crypto. I'm living my life. I plant my tomatoes, and I love that. But this is relevant on where you're going in terms of surveillance, in terms of getting wrecked, in terms of going into a digital gulag, which I've been talking for 6 years straight now. And I do my best to provide people with tools, at least to mitigate some of it. So like Canton is one of them boys, you know what I mean? And people like XRP, XLM, the ISO 222s, y'all are fucking done. Bro, I was on Ruel Black, who is someone that I like. He's like, I consider him like an internet friend, you know? And I was in his chat earlier this week because he had some guests on.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him how any of y'all public blockchains are so dumb. No institution is going to want to send billions while anyone in their basement can just look at the transaction happening. We have whale watcher indicators now, right? If it's not private, it's retarded. So Canton built now there's levels to privacy, folks. Canton and by the way, ADA is dead. Cardano's dead. I told you guys, they had to make a new coin midnight because ADA, you can't add privacy. And these XRP people don't tell them you can't add privacy. It's not built. The code itself needs to be rewritten. And this is based on their own top devs because it needs to be modular and they can't add compliant privacy. What's compliant privacy? That's ZK proof, where you can the government will have a back door to see what's going on. But what's funny is if the privacy is optional and the government has a back door, I have a back door. If someone has a back door, that means I have a back door too. Me, individual. I'm talking about myself. I can see what's going on.
So I will also quote from their wiki. Canton is designed as a network of networks where each participating institution maintains its own ledger while connecting with others via a synchronization ledger, and under Linux Foundation, the nonprofit body that was running it called the Global Synchronizer Foundation is now the Canton Network.
Yep. See what I'm saying?
So they're the nonprofit body established under Linux, the primary nonprofit.
Oh yeah. And so these dinosaur coins and all these retards, they can't even look at a simple chart for 1 second and go law of diminishing returns. And then go, Chris, based on what you're saying, is all the money corporations, Swift, BIS, all the banks, all the JP Morgans and etc. They go, hey, dum-dum, I don't need to buy your thing. We're going to make our own thing. Oh, and by the way, you're not going to be able to buy the crypto because this is not for sale, but you can buy our stock. And we will be running a line to all the institutions and you can't invest in it. You can't unless you want to buy our stock. They can just make the tech, have everyone agree to it, and see you later. Now, so how do you? There's a reason why cats don't make money in investing, especially in a new asset class like crypto, is because one, I don't go and listen to people online. I can find the literal data myself and I can look up tokenomics. And then with AI nowadays, whatever your favorite AI is, just plug in there. What's the tokenomics on this thing? Because you'll never get rich if all the ISOs are just going to dump on you anytime price discovery attempts to happen, and then they take that money and it doesn't go back into now Canton, as adoption happens, so based on what I read, the value does go back into the crypto holders, but it is also metered, right? So these gains that are metered,
They got big plans for Canton Network, for blockchain. Yeah, they got big. They had a World Gold Council on it. They got a group called Hydra X, who are the Monetary Authority of Singapore, who are an APEC custodian of Canton Coin. We got a lot of big boys, Bloomberg, Goldman Sachs, et cetera, et cetera.
And there's levels to all this stuff. There's levels to typically, Chris, we talk a lot. I love how we default into whatever the topic is. We default into the how do you think, right? Like what is your methodology on thinking your own thoughts, right? The cats that I run with, like when it comes to this investment stuff, have been into this particular technology for well over 10 years. They were there early, right? Now, these are also people that had experience before any sort of blockchain situation. And these are also people that have been decoders and tinfoil hatters for several decades. That's who I rock with. And that's who I'm in. Right. And that's who I am continuing to become an elder. Right. I'm stepping into elder phase. And we talked before, Chris, there's no sacred cows here. So let's dissect every single thing. Except that, not that. No. There's none of that. And there's no word salad jargon that will confuse myself. I won't say we. I'll say myself into anything. So when it comes, one thing that I really need right now is large sums of cash. You know what I mean? I need 3D cash. So what have I been saying since the Ronin experience has been online the last several years? Using the code for utility. Okay. And also I recommend everyone, because I keep people accountable. What were you saying last week, last month, last this, and what has transpired, right? For me, if I'm giving a message and I got new data, I switch the message based on that data. So if you're trying to have precious metals, if you're trying to do stocks, if you're trying to do crypto, if you're trying to do real estate, if you're trying to do any of that, one, astrologically, which I don't know what the heck is wrong with people doing astrology right now, because this is not a good year for making money. Are you kidding me? This is preserving what you can. Yeah, plant a few seeds, but this is not one of those 2026 you're going to get rich things. Not at all.
Yeah, no.
At all. Cats are still out here trying to give good news like you're going to get rich. You're like, are you crazy? Do you not know cycles within cycles within cycles? We have a planetary parade We got these goofballs shooting up fake NASA stuff, which I literally didn't even hear of last week. It wasn't. Chris, I wasn't even prepped for some.
Yeah, I didn't know about it till I saw it on Matt's Quantum of Conscience YouTube when he was showing the pictures.
And when was that?
Whenever I shared it yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
So this wasn't even a thing on any of most of ours radar. They're just doing goofball ass shit, right? They still want to enslave and kill every single one of you, and they're doing it. They're shutting down. You know, man, I don't like the internet, Chris. I can't stand reading what their responses are to things. It sucks. They'll be like, what's the point of taking all this energy and shipping and all this down? But it's to destroy the current system and bring in their own system. They don't care if you're like, oh, okay, we made it through. No, if you make it through, that's just because you made it through. They're not looking out for you on any sort of transition to a thing that they're trying to do. So, you know, for me, I try and be a counterbalance. Like, I see what y'all doing. I'm using the code for utility. I'm going to scale up wealth-wise, right? Get me some land, right? You need money for land, right? You need money to live away from cities, right? In this 3D transactional thing. So if I'm a decoder, and I've said this many times, why can't I figure it out? And I can, and I have. Making money has never been my problem. Keeping it is another problem.
yeah, man.
I mean, my resiliency is astronomical beyond all this. And a couple of my homies, we talk, and we've been trying to figure out ways to make, you know, gains in various ways. And it's like, all right, we fudged up there. Cool. We fudged up there. Cool. But we're never quit. Never quit, yo. And that's why I don't like all this airy-fairy frilly stuff. It's like, cool. How does that apply? How can I apply this airy-fairy stuff? Not to mention, most cats are off anyway. And most cats will rely on some sort of good intentions, feel good word salad. Oh, it's like, dude, save the BS. What are we doing here? It's calculated. And what sucks is a lot of my homies in the free-minded community do have sacred cows, and they do get emotional, aggressive if you start tapping against some paradigms, and it sucks. This is a paradigm crushing channel, yo. So it sucks when you have people who may be very well invested in a particular belief or belief system. And it's like, oh man, because it's hard for me to have a really good discussion on any topic with anyone unless we like agree on an axiom. So like, if you think gravity is a thing, it's like, well, fudge, I can't talk to you about what's built on the penthouse because we don't agree on something that's built on, you know, and everything else that's built on it is bogus. So it's tough.
That's why I feel like if you take it back to like, there's always a common way to have a discussion about something. I feel like I'm pretty good at that, because I usually, like, no matter what I believe, and if I have a difference with someone, I'm still able to like get to the root of what, like with, if say we were talking about gravity, I'd be like, all right, let's talk about the what we're calling the motion of something falling to the floor from the sky, or two bodies being attracted to each other from a distance. Why is that happening?
Dude, I don't have the energy to even...
But I mean, there's no reason to even get into that right now, because we aren't even on that. But I'm just saying...
No, but I mean, like, I don't have the desire or energy to get into that with anyone.
The thing is,
ever
most
in time.
people most people won't even get into it anyways. You
And
know what I
I try to
mean?
be polite, and I won't say too much, but
Before we get off the crypto asset, though, I didn't know there were Sharia compliant products in crypto. I'm on the Hydra X page, and they have Islamic finance, Sharia compliant products, bonds, and tokens, and sukuks, which are, I guess, Sharia compliant bonds. They're called sukuks. So does that mean women can't invest in?
yeah, chicks. No, I'm playing.
I mean, that's got to be part of it, right?
I'm sure.
That's wild.
Yeah. So when it comes to like rules being made right now, rules, and I'm talking about governments, right? I'm not talking about the code. They this is where I project. I say they, meaning all of them, all the governments, all of them are in unison to tag and fucking enslave and kill all y'all. You know what I mean? Like for real. Essentially, if you take away someone's way of living, take more money away from them, bro. Europe this winter is going to be interesting. If you got no energy, you're going to be freezing, bro.
Oh, have you heard of this term too? Special purpose entities and special purpose vehicles. Like that's now instead of like a trust or something like that. You can be called a special purpose entity.
Oh, bro, and I'm gonna read some of the chat because I really like what the homie Gang Stalking is talking about. Is that's I assume that's like the fancy new way of essential workers or something.
This is like what's under the once you get into this Islamic sort of system of Sharia compliant tokens, they have a whole different like a whole different way of categorizing everyone who's like invested and whatnot. So like the companies aren't listed; they have a special purpose entity or a special purpose vehicle as a designator for themselves. It's like a whole different thing,
bro. Islam's a funny thing. I'm gonna bring up Islam in a second. Yo, let's go to the chat for a second, yo.
Yeah. That's what it seems like.
Yo, I'm longing oil right now. I'm in a 10x leverage of Breton oil right now. I got in at like 108, right? So let's hope she don't drop and I get liquidated at 100. So as long as it doesn't go below 100, I'm good. But leverage is funky. But you know, sometimes you gotta take a chance. Columbus did.
Saying the Western word, I'm still on this Islamic bond page, sukuk. The Western word check appears to have been derived from sak, singular of sukkah. It's like sukkah.
Sake.
Like you're a sucker.
Scythian.
Which during the Middle Ages was referred to as a written agreement to pay for goods when they were delivered, blah, 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 blah. Sukuk.
And break it down syllable by syllable.
Sack is what they go back to originally. S-A-K.
That's from the Scythians. It's from the Saxons.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, this page is wild. Oh, okay. So y'all are looking at something. I'm just listening to what you guys are saying about it.
Yeah, well, there that magic circle page is real wild. Canton has allowed that. Just that Canton Wikipedia page brings you to a bunch, just through the links of who was involved, like that Clifford Chance Clifford Chance came up for me somewhere else. That's why I was looking at Clifford Chance, because that name came up for me in a Ted Bundy weave. So I clicked on it. And it's one of the multinational law firms of the Magic Circle.
Yo, can you read this username? Lozen Chien.
Lezen Sienna Shamanes Shield.
That sounds fun. A trust is essentially a special, I mean,
that's what I was saying. I thought that it looked like from just seeing it, and they had a special interest vehicle.
Islam positive vibes a thing yet? I mean, inshallah, man. Inshallah, Habibi.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. But we all know.
I don't know. I'm saying the only phrase I know in Islam. Is that even Islamic? I have no idea.
All that Abrahamic stuff, like I already know. I can share with you the origins of Islam right now. And it was a female, 3 sisters.
Sisters of Muhammad.
So the Islam was taken over, right? And let me share some stuff. I'll share some stuff. And you go, cool, I don't care about Islam right now. It's like, well, again, you apply logic. Where you apply logic, you need to apply that across the board, in my opinion. So when you have pantheons of goddesses, man, do I even want to get into this show? Because it's like,
well, the triple goddess worship is everywhere. It's been everywhere forever.
Yeah.
If that's what I'm pretty sure the triple bar means when you see it in like for instance, that movie, what's it called? Megan, Megan, with the robot transhumanist type girl who is a assassin / babysitter for the kid. I haven't seen the movie, but they spell it with the triple bar, just like Tesla does, instead of the E. And that's like the triple bar is a sign of triple goddess worship.
Oh, yeah.
It also seems to be transhumanist related. I don't know why. I mean, I do have my theories, but that's a long thing to get into.
I know, right? Like, yeah, man. I mean, I want to look at, Chris, the origins of all things. Meaning whatever your thing is, what's the origins of that? What's the source of that? Whatever the thing is.
These are the mountain goddesses too, right? Kybel or Sybil, Kybel, whatever you want to call her, Rhea, or Rita, or Ray. And there's one other one, the prima. I don't know if they call her like just she's not just the prima materia or prima matre. It's what the hell is it in Latin? The first mother. Prima. I mean, it's the prima materia. Basically, it's the smallest first matter. So, like in a way, sometimes when these people are acting as if they're into the goddess worship, they're also trying to like destroy matter at the same time, which would be feminine to them.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Seems like there was contention all the time, you know, like you know, like this is where you go, and by the way, I have my reasons to believe Islam comes from Kentucky. And it's not just some silliness. So I even see these things happening, you know, and they have a lot all up and down Appliquia. So it's not in the old maps, etc., in the etymology. So it's kind of, again, it's weird when I don't want to disagree with folks, because in a way it's like, man, you gotta boil this down, and I'm not trying to tell people what to do like that. When I research, I need to boil the whole freaking thing down and go, what the heck is left? So this has a lot of parallels with other pantheons, like in Greek, etc. And this would be what you know as Islam and Muhammad, etc. But also insert your timeline fudgeries.
Yep.
Look into the Al-Andalus, and you really have to research this stuff. Like, again, I've said this so many times, like, for example, I'll just use a flat stationary plane for an example, infinite plane, no domes, no mason's jars, no snow globes. Yeah, I was researching it back 10 years ago, and it was took me like 6 months before the epiphany phase came, and going down controlled shills, controlled opposition and all that, all your like Mark Sargents and stuff, and those that believe in a second sun. Oh, a second sun in Antarctica. Man, I cannot take, I don't care if you're popular and you got 777 in your name. If you're faking stuff, lunar waves, second suns, or you're faking anything else, and you're a Mason, that's a problem, like, that's fudged up. So I will burn that away, that gnosis away real. I know what y'all trying to spit, and I go infinite plane. And after a minute, once I realized it, I went outside and had my spiritual experience with a non-moving plane, barefoot in my backyard, going, yo, I ain't moving, yo. It's the luminaries above my head that's moving. So that wasn't a TikTok vid that did that. That's me fleshing things out, going into it things as a skeptic, and then going, yo, the data set is changed my mind. And then I shift gears. I go, the data set's what it is. The lies and the BS is what it is. I was just reading the chat, Chris. But I mean, this stuff doesn't come super simple, man. And then again, ask yourself, why do you anchor yourself to one particular thing? Be like, I hear you, but this is it right here. That's it.
You gotta be flexible, man.
This is my pantheon. If you question my pantheon, we might have to throw down. It's like, I don't even want to throw down, bro. I'm not interested in it. If that's your pantheon, that's your pantheon. You got to stay flexible, like Chris said, man. I agree, because
it's especially, we're in apparently, well, I don't think we're actually in it, but they say we're in the age of Aquarius, so you gotta be airy, you gotta be flexible, like air.
Yeah. Like, I'm out here, this is how I research. I'll show you how I research, folks. I'm just going to share my whole screen. And it's like, I hear Leto's
been in everything lately too. That name keeps popping up, and even in popular culture, films and whatnot.
That's Artemis's mom's.
Yeah, so they had Leto. Was the name of the main character? I think in Tron, and it was also the name of the actor, obviously. And there was another one that just came out where Leto was like some sort of transhumanist type thing.
And then I go into, like, for me, just my methodology is like, And then Artemis is somehow connected with the what's the one tree? So I was looking up Aphrodite, which is kind of like had no power. So I'm just going down this rabbit hole of can I connect some of this, and then I connect you know, like I'm going down with the tree, and because this is associated with Artemis, I think. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that. And this is how I research, yo. Like
Yeah,
I go down so hard, it's not even funny, man.
I was deep into those trees and the names of the lexicon, all the Latin names for the trees are all like related to certain things in the occult. It's friggin' really annoying, actually.
Yeah.
Like, it's really annoying.
Yeah, man.
What the heck? Do you hear that? Did you just hear that? Did anyone else hear that besides me? I keep hearing like every once in a while. I've only heard it on a few people's channels before. Like who the hell do I always hear it on? Monograph's channel. If you ever watch him, I always hear it on his channel. It's like a rattling that's happening every once in a while. So keep your ears open for that. It's not doing it right now.
Is it trumpets?
No. It's like it's almost like a modem-y sound. It's weird.
Oh, are you getting voice of Jeed right now?
No. It would be like something like, it almost sounds like someone's tapping like a line.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You're on the Ronin experience. You're gonna have your lines tapped. Right?
Yeah. Because it's definitely not something I usually hear. Very weird.
Oh man, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, if I hear it again, I'll let you all know. It's like a yeah, tick. There it is.
No, we didn't hear it, man. It's just focused on you.
You all ain't hearing that?
No.
That's weird. That's odd. Yeah, no, I'm hearing but see, okay, Event Horizon's hearing it. And so is Johnny. Okay. Yep. It's going in and out, right?
Dude,
Yeah.
what time is it? It's bro, we haven't even been an hour yet, and you're already having
Yeah, I got 5 other witnesses, so
they hear it?
yeah, no, they're all hearing it.
Oh wow, dude.
So that might be coming from you.
Nah, man.
They're tapping you, bro.
Ursa she was snoring for a second, but I don't think it's her being snored on.
I mean, unless it's like the audio, what's it called? The cleanup. I'm trying to clean up the background noise, and it's turning it into like just a rattle. It could be that.
You're in LA too. They attack you, man. They attack y'all. You gotta get out of there. And I'm trying to get you off Apple. I'm trying to, dude. You gotta get out of LA.
I know.
Because things are about to happen, right? Like in the real, not just in this intellectual, scholarly, metaphysical, spiritual talk. Like things are about to happen.
No, I know. I always got a place to go. Luckily,
that's good.
Because I ain't from here, so I just
That's
go back
good.
to Jersey. If worst comes to worst, or go to Texas. I got family everywhere.
Chris, have you seen movies before? You're gonna go cross country?
No, I'd be going to Texas.
Okay, well,
Pop down to Texas.
you gotta go to the
Tejas.
Badlands. Have you seen?
I got multiple ways. Don't worry. I got a few ways to get through.
Oh man, I think I'm in a good spot, yo.
In Georgia.
Yeah, northern Georgia. I looked at and read all the books and looked at the lines of drift and looked at some of the best things, and I was like, this is the place to be, in my opinion. Yeah, for a lot of reasons.
I mean, I'm hoping California becomes a island again, you know? and I'll be on my own little island out here.
Oh, if you go Queen Calafia and some giant black chick
Oh God.
who's hot, but also is a badass. You're just like, dude, don't kill me, but also here's my code to my ATM card. That's all I got. Let's get weird. Can we party? I mean, dude, but that's where over here on the southeast side, they call it the TVA. And that's where they built dams. TVA, like Loki, they prune time. So
the time variance alliance or time. Yeah.
And over here, it's the Tennessee Valley, something, whatever, association or whatever. And so they literally put up dams to hide the past and the breakup. Dude, I heard from a Florida native years ago, you know how we know it's as a swamp and all that? Well, I was told it was actually because Florida has a lot of springs too, really great, clear springs you can drink from.
Mm-hmm.
They fudged up the little river that goes right through Florida, the middle of Florida, and they fudged it up, and now it's a swamp instead of more of a flowy situation.
I believe it.
And dude, the Great Lakes were connected, and bro, you look in things like the Anion's Cross, and you look at the rivers how they used to be, like this was terraformed in a really good way. That's where you get like all your talk of star forts being at the end of rivers and the oceans and lighthouses and batteries, blah blah blah. There was very well good engineering happening here in the Americas that were not only not maintained, but have been destroyed in the last like 200 years.
My question is like, what are, I don't, it's not totally clear to me whether they want to base their central hub out of North America or they want to destroy North America. And I don't understand what the point.
Well, they want to destroy it. They conquered it. So it's
like, so why? It's like some of what they do seem pointless to me. It seems it almost seems like what you would do if you're just trying to get as many resources as possible before something popped off, so you could hide out while it happened. And I don't. That's like my least favorite way of thinking about things because there's really nothing you could do if something like that is the case.
The problem is that's not organic. That is manufactured. What you're saying. So,
well, I would hope. See, the problem is if it's organic, that's a real problem. If it's like a thing they just know happens cyclically, and they have information on it, that's a real problem. So then you really fucked.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case. I think there are cycles, but I think they've been manufacturing cycles in a pollution kind of way and then claiming it's natural. So that's where they put their code in front of the code. And then the idea, you go, why would they do that? It's like, well, murder. By the way, there ain't 7 billion people on this plane. Okay, folks, do some basic math. There's not 1.4 billion in India.
There wasn't a number up to 9 a few years ago, and then all of a sudden it dropped to 7.
Yeah, so they're lying about the numbers of people. So just put that on your, on your book.
Because I remember when that Disclosure Day trailer came out, and they said I think 7 billion. Everyone was like, what? Or there were a bunch of people who were like 7. Since when are there only 7?
Yeah, but there's not even that, dude.
Well, yeah, but I mean that was more of like people who accepted that number. Like people who were more in acceptance of it were kind of tripping out on why it was so much lower than they thought it was.
It's way low. Knock off at least a couple bill on whatever the numbers are. But they always fudge the numbers, and their main intention is to, they got the levers of the things, so they want to just destroy the place, right? And then start over it with whatever they want to make clones.
So they're saying,
they make a new set. They go, okay, well, these last 5 times, this is what we learned. This is time number 6 or 7. And we think we got the proper recipe. We're in our silos. We're in our bunkers. We wreck this shit. Everyone's going to be broke. And then we come back out and write it in our own image kind of deal. But it'll be gross. And the thing is to not let these weirdos, gross ass cats do that. And also to not even be scared to stand up to the complete illogic of whatever. Like, dude, I've seen, like, here's just one example. I'm not trying to go down this road. I'm just saying, I've seen a lot of videos, Chris, on the internet. Take it for what it is. Like,
Cool.
here in England, you can't wave certain flags, like England flags and stuff. You get in trouble, right?
yeah, I remember that popular video was going around when he was like, "You're bringing down the wrong flag, mate. You're tearing the wrong flag down." He's like, "You think I don't know that, mate?"
Well, if it's just some cat on the street, but if it's like their literal rules and all that Union Jack thing, it's like, yo, dog. And then you take it and that's, you get in trouble, you get arrested for that, but you don't get arrested for causing violence, like really bad violence. I don't even want to talk about it. But if you have that, like, you're crazy, yo.
Wild.
If I was in England,
yeah, I don't know.
You're gonna have a bunch of chicks complaining later, like, where are all the good dudes at protecting us from these crazy?
Where are the good dudes at? Oh, that's not even British. I don't know what that was. I don't know what. I lost the British accent. I apologize. I'm going to be quiet for 5 minutes there. I'll be quiet for 5 minutes after that one.
You got to bring back the Constantine.
Oh, mate, where all the good dudes at, mate? That's not British at all. It's like,
these birds. What do the birds call the dudes?
Yeah. Like Maggie was like, I sound Australian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, these birds. But what do the birds call dudes?
I have no idea, actually. I can't even pretend to know.
Yeah, well, Chris is South African. He's Constantine, so he's like a pirate.
Yo, yeah, I am a pirate. Dudes. My accent changes. So it'll go from Australian to South African to whatever JFK sounding.
I mean, 1, they don't want you to have more children. 2, they want you to starve and die. 3, they will also want to tell you, you can't go here, you can't go there. 4, they're going to tell you what to eat. Be like, yo, that tomato right there, that belongs to the community. Like, fuck, no, this tomato does not belong to the community unless I want to, like, voluntarily slice off a few slices. So this control private property, these like, y'all gonna, and privacy, all the stuff I share about privacy, when you hear these other whack ass people out here going, who cares about privacy? They already got everything. So what? They're the freaking lamest of the lame. I've gave this analogy before, right? So if I have a girlfriend and she knows everything about me, like, yo, how I move, my people, you know, and then we break up, she doesn't continue to have access to all information that I got. So just because you gave up information to a thing, you want to reevaluate the situation in the relationship. You go, cool, but from here on out, you're not privy to how I move. And they want to know how y'all move so they can corral you.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. It's,
No energy. Y'all gonna have, how you gonna pay for gas? How you gonna pay for heat? Like, these cats are destroying the infrastructure. And I don't even like Ayn Rand. Like, Ayn Rand, I hear a lot of people out there quote how brilliant she was. No, she was a communist too. She was low key pushing
that New Atlantis.
that New Atlantis stuff.
I was trying to say Ben Salem, but New Atlantis.
So I'm gonna get some water. So it's like you got whack ass people on here on. Okay, so let's. When it comes to the financials, you got people out here sharing financial info with you. They don't know that, they literally don't do their research except for looking up twats and
twangers on there. Yeah. Go ahead.
You got financial retards out here telling you shit. Where you're gonna get wrecked. I'm sure your portfolios are wrecked already. Then you have history people out here, you have technology people out here, you have any sort of other aspects out here of people telling you how this realm is made, being full of BS for one reason or another. A lot of times it's not even intentional. And what's it to do? To feel good? Yeah, I mean, like, feel good, cool, but don't sell me a delusion. I don't want to be delusional. But good vibes are good vibes for sure. I try and always send out good vibes, but also let's not sugarcoat things. Y'all got to be very vigilant nowadays on how you move, whether it's your food, whether it's your finances, whether it's how you actually travel. You know, you can't be out here buying pipe dreams from content creators that just want to sell you pipe dreams.
100%.
They're not giving you the whole deal, yo. You're gonna get wrecked listening to people. That's why I determined to myself, I'm done listening to anyone about anything. I don't care if it's about decoding, telling you about some this or oh, there's a second sun. Oh, really? Y'all faking that? Or there's some, oh, there's this. It's like, dude, what's it built on? What's the foundation? And are you emotionally attached to the outcome? You know, do you need an outcome to happen? All right. There's a lot of people there are things that you cannot touch, despite how open-minded they may proclaim to be. You'll get some feeling, like some cats will be in their feelings, you know?
Yeah, they updated. They put a lot of shit on Wiki in the past few weeks, like just adding pages of stuff of that was never here before. Like, we got a lot of new pages of stuff that even would be considered conspiracy in the past. It isn't being treated that way. Maybe they're trying to keep up with the AI Wikipedias that I saw that they're starting to create, like Rockopedia and whatnot.
Oh, I don't even know.
But it's kind of wild. There's a bunch of new pages everywhere and every topic.
How do you know? How do you know they're new or whatever?
You can see when they were created.
Oh. You know what's funny is if I look up something real fast, it is interesting where there are some esoteric stuff, articles, videos, where it's like they just came out in like 2024. It's like, what? No, I know this topic was early 2000s also. Oh, these, yeah, so you're right. There are refreshing things, and they want to control the narrative. Keep the whole, that's what I'm saying. Like, you always got to investigate your own thoughts. Like, are they effing with me? You know, this or that. And I watch a lot of, and Chris knows this, I watch a lot of weird TV shows. Are those influencing me? Time this, time that.
And promise too, like a lot of the stuff that they'll even be changing online, or even the original stuff that should be, that was there and should have a source, like all the sources are gone, like they've been wiped, even off the Wayback Machine, and you can't even find them.
Yep.
So like all this information's just, we're like kind of, unless you have an archivist, you're relying on your own intuition and sense of logic at some point.
That's why they say, like, back in the when I was really digging into prepper stuff, it was save a lot of like things offline to like an external hard drive. This was a while ago, man. It was like, these plants, you know, are good to eat, or this or that, you know, all the prepper related sort things. They'd be like, dude, save this. And you're like, dude, or they were probably saying that back in the 80s or something, you know, 90s. And you're like, okay, well, it took 30 years to come around, but they were right.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean? Don't expect some manual to be there next week, because they are, or to be brand new written. You're like, fudge, I don't know what they changed because I didn't read the first one.
Exactly. Dead internet theory too. That's
yeah,
absolutely a thing. I mean, I've looked and I've done the test myself. I honestly think they're like rerouting some of that power to their AIs. Like, that's why they're just like not, whatever like data they were using for search results, they're pushing it towards their large language models when they don't have enough.
Bro, and this is to the, I see a couple other awesome chats, but this right here, bro, this is where you guys talk. I mean, if transhumanism, as we know about it, was prostulated, or, you know, professed that that's what they want to do in the, say, mid to late 1800s. All right. And in our heads, we're thinking people are running around like cowboys and doing, you know, running around in the desert somewhere. But if they already have transhumanism on the mind, right, and they're already building stuff along the way, and then changing literally the frequency of like music and stuff. I mean, you put all this together, they had the internet ready, and they knew what that was. The TV was a propaganda machine. And then you throw in the Mandela effect, yo, which some cats, this is what I say, like those that don't think the Mandela effect is a thing, are because of the I've said this before, but the refresh of the firmware of the realm, the people tapped into this realm like that received that refresh. So they don't recognize the Mandela glitches and changes, right? On their own, autonomously. And that's an interesting thing. So
yeah, they're on that program.
They're on that program.
Someone was asking if Balderson was invited to drop in, but is he here? Is Balderson in the chat? I don't see him, right?
I don't see him. But I think this is just a wish list. Balderson invited to...
He's always invited to drop in if he's around.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you're in inner Earth, sometimes you gotta fix that fiber cable. Glad Ronin reconnected with him, because y'all, iron sharpen iron. You know, what's funny is I was talking earlier, and Chris knows this, I try and be polite, yo. I don't want to battle. I want to look more on what do we agree on, but also there's a small part of me. It's like I gotta put stuff under a microscope. But Balderson's awesome, man. I wish we were neighbors. I mean, talking about it.
Oh yeah, he'd be a great guy to have as a neighbor.
Oh man, Tommy, he's gonna be like the wealthiest librarian later, man. Like, I get a few books in myself, but I like the ones that are more prepper related.
Yeah, we're screwed with the
pragmatic. Like if the lights go out. So here's why I say not because I don't want to learn, but it's like when the lights, quote unquote, and I'm not trying to, but let's just say lights go out. I want pragmatic stuff, and then I have an Uno deck. I'm like national champion. I'm like Uno national champion. You know.
Yeah, if you need that Uno deck, that means power went out. That probably means that most of people's drives are going to be fried. So y'all better keep those drives in some sort of Faraday bag.
Yeah. You know, something I'm working on this moment is making my bedroom a Faraday cage. I have a grounding mat. I have that stuff. But no, my bedroom with silver lining paint.
Yeah, we just set the line with lead paint, even though that's illegal. And right.
It's not illegal. It costs a little money. It exists.
Well, I mean, it's illegal to keep it on when you sell it or something, though, because lead paint is they made people start taking it off their houses probably for this exact reason. But they would say it's dangerous to eat the lead. Your children are going to eat it.
Which I've never witnessed.
Yeah, I've never seen that either. But, what's his name? Ken Wheeler has good videos on how to easily Faraday cage your room if you need to. And you don't even have to do it with all 4 walls don't need to be done. You could do it with, I think 3. As long as you have, something grounded on the outside. I don't know. You have to go watch. He has a video on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this. I mean, yeah, I was just like, he knows Einstein was a shill, right? Okay, he does. All right, sweet, cool. I'm not talking. That's not me. Yeah, you guys get it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been being more careful just because they've been doing those debates with people, and that's like how they have to go about it.
Yeah.
Which I understand.
Plus, I forgot physics a long time ago. I remember, I used to read literal physics, on my own, 17, 18, 19 years old, 20 years old. And why? Because I just wanted to sound smart when I talked to certain other smarty pants.
Speaking of,
literally was nothing. So I eventually defragged my literal mind of all stuff that doesn't bring value. Because again, if it's built on something like gravity, then if it's built on that, then everything built on that is bogus. So that's why I was like, oh, it's all bogus. But I went through all these phases of trying to I'm gonna be, and recently I just don't care.
Well, speaking of the physics topic, and also weaving it back in with the topic I was talking about of how they're updating all the wiki and whatnot pages. It was surprising to me the other day when I was seeing them put on all the general relativity Einstein-based pages that there is no general relativity without the ether, as being a quote apparently by Einstein, which I know that he said something about there being an ether in one of his last speeches, and that but it was very far from him, I thought, admitting that he was wrong or whatever, whoever he was pretending he was to be the story around this was not that he was saying there was an ether, because they didn't go along then teaching there was an ether. So I'm like, what? That's weird. That now I'm seeing that forever, apparently, in general relativity, there's been an ether, and that there could be no general relativity without the ether, according to Einstein. What? What?
Well, that's why their equations never work out. They never equate.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So I'm like, why? So how is that a thing now that has been there from the start? They never. That's
That
new.
Boston Higgs thing, bro. That's where they put a little symbol on the unknown or whatever. You know, that's yo. If I make a math equation, imagine this, Chris. You're at your job or whatever, and you can be off by a lot, and you go, "Hey guys, I'm just going to insert this one variable. It represents how off I was." And everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, cool, it checks out." It's like, what? And then we're still, but don't worry, we're gonna find that missing value variable. We're gonna find it somewhere. It's here somewhere. It's like, dude, your math don't even math, y'all. They be making shit up all the time. Their maps don't map. Their distances don't map. I showed you guys last year how, like, if you compare like east to west Africa and east to west Europe to Siberia, it doesn't work out. Even it's like that's on Google Maps. So the math don't math, the history don't math, the sciences don't math, the timeline don't math. Yo, and these cats come around in the late 1800s, rewriting shit, repopulating stuff.
And that's what it. Yeah, that's what it seems like they're doing.
All these things come out. They even have controlled opposition. They have debauchery. They have dudes in dresses. They have freaking war. They have destroying of, energy, and they make up their own usury. And it's in terms of financials, they kill any free energy. Like that's what the prohibition was about. It wasn't about drinking alcohol and not being taxed. It was about they could make gas for their whiskey cars for free, just based on taking the fruit or corn or whatever, you know what I mean, and making alcohol and pouring that into the gas and being free energy. And then they were like, all right, y'all are going to burn peak oil. And they sold you guys the dinosaur shit. They sold you all the space, the sci-fi stuff starts coming out in the early 1900s. They're hiding old stuff. They're hiding old tech. They change the story. They lie to y'all, so on all levels. And it all, when you boil it down, comes from the similar sources. And that's literally where we are right now today. So any cat out there, like, you really, like, it's tough because I can't really unite with some sort of real ass people because it's like everyone's fudged up. So I just have to make my own little spot, and make it cool and go, it's best I can do.
I mean, it's a mess. It is a mess out there, bro. And it's gonna continue to be. People are they're too set in their ways,
Too set in their ways, man.
They're too set in their goddamn ways. And it's probably why we're not winning right now, I don't think. As a collective biological humanity is not winning.
I would agree.
And it doesn't mean I don't think we're not going to win, but we're not winning.
A Hail Mary. There's a
Hail Mary.
But the astrological and stuff, I guess it's a matter of perspective if you think it's going to be cool. I mean, really, there's nothing to do, man. I mean, just hold down your own spot, and that's all there is really to do, I think.
That's really all you can do, you know? It's like what you know, lead a... No one here is trying to lead an army anywhere.
Nah.
It ain't even worth that. You could... There's better ways. But if everyone's going to be retarded, if everyone's going to be stupid, then you're going to have a problem. Because all we need is for everyone to just take responsibility for their own individual actions and not be effing stupid. And this could be really, yeah, exactly. This could be real easy. Now, if they started sending Pelicaris after everyone, you know, if they start sending their face peelers after people with advanced military tech and doing night ops, and they start doing that in first world countries like our country here in the United States, then we got a problem. Then we're gonna have to start swinging back, you know.
Yeah, it was like a dude, like I told you a month or so ago, like some cat. I was talking privacy, and they were like, "Oh, looks like we got a money launderer on our hands." And I was thinking to myself,
What?
That's actually a compliment. Think I'm gonna pay for my own, demise? Nah, yeah, I don't owe nobody nothing. So it's just funny the mindset of like, there's a lot of cats, Chris, that really want to follow the rules that are given to them at any given time.
Yeah. When I'm trying to read the chat too, what is what am
we
I
got
missing?
some cool chat, dude.
I'm missing something here. I feel like I missed a
We
comment.
got some legends in the chat, bro, talking awesomeness. Yeah, Pilgrim Society. Yeah, man.
Babylonian Radonites. Yep. Yeah, I was looking into the Radonites for a while.
Yeah, in the Pilgrim Society, man.
Yeah, and it doesn't surprise me. Silas has some good information on the Radonites.
Yeah, we're gonna win in the end. I mean, I'm gonna try. I don't think it's something to be complacent about, but also, yeah, there is a stillness. It's a interesting. Like for one, I'll meditate, right? And if a tank is trying to roll by, I'll be like, dude, I'm not done meditating yet. Either run me over or go around. There's that, but then and that's not even from I'm puffing a chest out situation. That's just that. But then there's a lot of things happening in the digital side, paper tiger side, where you gotta go, you gotta go, no. And you also gotta know how to navigate it too. There's action that needs to take place. Kind of like growing your own food isn't super simple.
Yeah.
Select Incredible Minds is an indicator we're winning. Yeah, and I'm wondering the win. What's the win, really? Like,
I mean, there's no winning. Yeah, there's at the end of the day, I guess there really is no there's just continuing to go on in a better state or a I guess more painful, less pleasurable state of living. And pain isn't always bad, but I guess a less organic way of living. It's either going to be more organic or less. That seems to be the two choices.
oh, bro, oh man, the stuff they're busting out nowadays, spraying and getting into your skin. They want more oh my gosh. You gotta be for real. And I know I get it if you check out mentally. I get it, but man, it's like,
I feel like in our lifetimes we could probably remember a time that was pretty chill, like pretty good, like a pretty decent balance. And then as you get older, there's probably even a better time. I know probably most people who are older than us, our parents' age and maybe even slightly older would say this, what was it, 50s or 60s? The 50s, what do they usually say? Well, you know, that freaking that Pleasantville time in the United States for a lot of them was like the best.
Seemed pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that sort of balance in between, minus whatever sort of nonsense might have been going on for some people. Obviously, we want
It
to.
was rocking and rolling at some point, and they, you know, even in like Detroit, the city was like the greatest city on in the entire realm. So people were making money around Detroit. That wasn't pretend. And people were, you know, just use that as an example, man. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect a utopia. I don't think anyone. That's like we're not communists here, you know. We're not nihilists or communists here. We're not expecting some utopia. We just want to, you know, a chance to live a normal, happy existence.
yeah.
It's all about balance, man.
But yo, if I'm being real,
Fucking communists.
the thing is, if you're trying to murder, if you're trying to destroy me, my friends, my family, you know, nephews, nieces, cousins, grandparents, seniors, blah blah. I'm not one to just kind of sit around. I need to identify a source and go, I'm gonna starve the beast in any way I can, whether
Yeah.
it means
Yeah.
whatever it means.
Yeah, no, that has to be taken care of.
And it also starts with no. That's why, you know, you probably, if you were like me, the only person in the grocery store without a mask a few years ago. Remember how those cats were, and remember
Same
how
here.
those nurses were.
Same here.
They killed people in those hospitals, and they danced at the same time. Remember them dances? Remember
Yeah,
them
don't forget. Shit was demonic. Shit was evil.
The choreographed dances when everyone's supposedly dying. Now they kill them, work on their choreographed dance, and demonic have a good old time while doing it.
It still bothers me that people forget 2020 so fast.
That was just a little bit ago, and they're running it back. Same cats, same people. You have those nurses are those Agent Smiths. You know,
I never thought I would see anything like that in our lifetime. It was the most bizarre thing,
yeah.
and it still is disturbing as fuck.
That was a stepping stone to where we are now. That's not just in the rear view.
Oh yeah, and I mean, we all said it was gonna happen. This is what we're gonna wind up in, a world where everyone felt like they had nothing to look forward to, no freaking goals they could achieve, and it was just gonna decimate the mental sort of, I don't want to say mental health in a way of like where I'm saying they need medication, but just the mindset of the youth is gone because they were tortured. Everyone was fucking tortured.
Mm-hmm.
And the goddamn psychiatrists and psychologists who should have known what the hell the effects would be of that and everything that went down during 2020 to 2023-ish.
Yeah, never forget.
Never said a fuck. Most of them never said a word. Very few of them.
A lot of them never forget, yo. Like these things, we can't just forget these things. We have to. That's why I've been saying, like, keep also these content creators accountable for shit they've been saying. You know, keep all these cats accountable, man. Keep those cats from 2020, 2021, and 2022, keep them accountable. You gotta put mirrors in front of cats and keep these cats accountable, yo.
Yeah, people don't realize that. Like, it went to like 2023 with lockdowns and stuff in California, like where things were just shut down. You couldn't go nowhere. Like, it was like, what?
I went places. I even made.
I mean, I went wherever I could, but I mean, people were just closed. Like, their stores were closed. You couldn't at points. So it's just like, what the fuck? You can't make them open up.
Yeah. Not me, yo. Not me. And this is the time of authenticity starting then. Starting late 2019, the realm energetically changed. That's why you also have all these rare astrological events happening now. And authenticity is the way. Who are you? Cool, I'm this. I can tell you who I am. Okay, cool. That's cute. But no, who are you when the pressure is pressed? When you get pressed. And that's who you are. So I can tell you right now, I had couple cats under my wing. They were in the army and they didn't get lethally injected.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell me about pressure? One just outright refused.
Yep.
You talk about you think you got pressure. The other one, I talked to him. I said, "Yo, when you go in there, find out who's gonna be trying to administer the things, right? And then go and talk to him. I'll give him $500 to spray it into the trash can." And I was like, "Bro, if you don't have 500, I'll give you $500. Just make sure you." And he went in there and he came out. And I was like, "How'd it go? Did you give him $500?" And he's like, "No, he was a friend of mine and he was cool and he didn't hit me up, but he gave me my proper paperwork." So I had one cat in the army with proper paperwork, the other one that just denied it outright.
Yeah.
Myself, who, I bought paperwork and I didn't even need it.
Yeah, I didn't need it either. I never wound up. I wound up getting like a copy of my buddies who got it when I told him not to, and pissed me off that he got it. But yeah, at least let me get a copy of his, and then if I needed it, I had it. And also my boy Harry, what the fuck's his last name? He went on the Dark Horse podcast. He's I used to talk to Harry Fisher. I used to talk to this kid all the time. Good dude. He was an EMT. He has like a pretty big X account now. He refused it. He got fired from, I think, his last job at the very end, but wound up getting rehired by a private company, so he didn't have to get it. But he was one of the people who I had to literally fight with doctors and stuff, saying, "Dude, I'm watching people die who shouldn't be."
So again, I'm gonna go back, Chris, on how I researched. So back then, I was looking up HIPAA rules. I was looking up OSHA rules. What's the safety oxygen of a workplace for any person based on OSHA? It was like 18 parts per whatever. Well, when you wear a mask, it takes it below that. So you're below OSHA. So you're not OSHA compliant. You're not HIPAA compliant. Nah, I ain't wearing a mask. Nah, I ain't doing nothing. You're not OSHA, HIPAA, and you're not American Disability Act compliant. I got a disability. What is it? You're not even in being compliant just by asking me that. So that's me researching stuff to where I have not only phony paperwork, and in some cases real paperwork, just didn't get the and 3 other legal things to throw on top of cats, which I never really had to use. That's how I research, folks. So again, when you're out here listening to other cats, who were they? What were they doing? I just woke up in 2022 and now they have 1 million fucking whatevers, right? And it's like you're brand new, yo. You're brand new. You're new to this, and you'll talk to someone and be like, oh, you just woke up 3 years ago. Cool. What do you think about this? And they'll be like, no way. And you're like, oh, okay. You're like an infant out here walking around.
And I want to talk to Lazen, because he was mentioning when I said that the youth, their mindset is gone, and I'm just saying this from my my anecdotal experience with the youth around me and what I've seen in them. So if you have a different experience, I'd definitely be encouraged to hear what you're seeing. I mean, I hope you're right. I hope that's how it is, because I'm seeing a lot of kids who are just addicted to tech,
There definitely is that.
And they walk around like zombies,
Well,
and they don't get outside. So it's like, I mean, it could be location, like where you're at in California, where I'm at in California, where the kids are at. I know they had to push the reading age back a year because of the masks. So now instead of reading by whatever age it was, I think it was, what was the age of? Does anyone know what the previous reading age was?
What?
Like the average age where a child should be able to read.
Well, I would say like 5.
Yeah, so say it was 5, now it's 6. It's a year later because of what the masks did, and I'm sure it's honestly a little worse than a year.
Yeah, but I also so I had there's 2 ways to enter my subdivision, and one road they had a speed camera there for a long time. A long time being a few months. The first time I went by and I cut the cable with my own pliers, I pulled around, and then the second and third time I paid teenagers in the area, preteens, 10, 12, 11, like, go destroy that, go paint it, go paint the camera or whatever. I'll give you $5, $10. So I got little hooligans running around the neighborhood doing focused vandalism. And that's one way. Now you got a 5G tower around your way. Hey man, get some teenagers and you pay them. Dude, $20 to like a 12-year-old, that's not bad.
See, I don't see kids outside like when I was growing up anymore. That's why maybe it could just be where I'm at though too. But I also don't see it in New Jersey when I go home. It's not the same.
Well, luckily in my neighborhood, there's a lot of single mothers, so they don't keep track of their.
You see, I think he did. I think Lazen kind of just confirmed a little bit of what I was thinking. With by day they're tech zombies, but by night they which I feel like that's just gonna eventually turn into they're gonna get into that sort of tech bro type lifestyle, and it's not going to end well for anyone.
Yeah, I mean,
because there's no way to balance the system with the way it's going. It has to be taken back a notch, or totally reversed, or knocked the hell over and redone somehow. Like, there needs to be a safer way to go about all of this, a more balanced way.
Yeah, I mean, dude. The way man, for me, it's about, I need to get a homestead going, even some land, and I'll put for like a first year or two, a really nice trailer, because trailers, I'm looking at practical right now, Chris. I'm looking at pragmatic. I switch gears to pragmatic for a second, based on all the info that we just talked about. There's trailers like someone a couple years ago was probably like, honey? Dude, could you imagine some goofy husband? Some of these dudes out here are ridiculous, are useless too. But like, it's like, honey, I'm gonna buy us a luxury trailer camper, and we're gonna do it's only $180,000. And you're like, the wife is probably like, okay. Then he wrecks his whole life a couple years later, and he has to sell that $200,000 fancy RV for like $30K. He tried to sell it for 100, no one. 75, no. Get 30K out of it. Then someone like me comes around and goes, here's your 30K. By the way, I'll give you 22. Take it or leave it. And then I get nice land with this really dope trailer. Like, they are actually not, it's not like some white trash trailer park situation. It's actually decent, right? And then You work on upgrading the land, whether put electricity or water on it or well, and then you build a nice house, a legit house. I told you guys I'm high maintenance. I want some fancy shit. I'm not living in a shed, but that's an option of a thing that I'm working on. That's one of my goals, right? You get water, because around here in Georgia, we have radium water. We have radioactive water in the aquifer below. And this is one place, and it was owned by Tombland. Colonel Tombland, who was butt buddies with Abraham Lincoln, took over Cave Springs, Georgia, right outside of Rome. And it's been tested a lot, and it kicks out millions of gallons every day and they tested it. A lot of people online have shared their test results. It's so clean, it's not even funny. So people go there and fill up their water. So like if I get a nice well and I tap into that, I'm getting radium water. I'm taking showers in radium water, pool, all that. That's right here. So I get some dope land. I build that out. You also need money to do that. And it's like, okay, all our numbers. Why can't I figure out how to get a bunch of numbers together? Get a couple commas. I can figure it out. I'm working on it. Or you just get some land.
I don't.
Be a millionaire. You just get some land for like 80 grand. Maybe it's $2,000 an acre, 40 acres or so. 80 grand, 100 grand. You get your you get a nice trailer from some poor person who wasted a lot of money. You get the nice trailer and you're living out on the land pretty good, relatively cheap. Figure out a way to earn a little bit of money and yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry, my bad. I was listening to you and engaging with Lazen in the chat. I mean, well, you're at a whole different level with the talking about the land and whatnot. I'm just trying to see if the kids can even independently think for themselves, which Lazen's claiming they are, but I don't know. Walking around Hollywood and San Francisco at night, I've done that. All I see are drug addicts. So I might be walking around the wrong places, but I see drug addicts everywhere I walk around at night out here.
Are they like fake rebels where it's like, I'm a rebel, but it's like, actually you look like a whole bunch of other quote unquote rebels?
Yeah, and I ain't in a band anymore, brother. I was for 10 years, but now we're not together, and one of the guys no longer with us passed away. But that would be fun to do if I still have one. But yeah, I mean, I just hope that they're educated a little bit more on the, like, because how do I want to say this? I mean, we all, a lot of us in this community know the homeless were some of the first to even be tested and targeted with a lot of this technology. So if you're a teenager outside hanging out at night with them or around them, I would be very careful with that too. Running around all night in these smart cities at this point. Like, you gotta, there's just so many layers to this that I'm just hoping kids aren't ignoring. That's all.
Yeah. The youth do feel disconnected.
I feel like they're just going to be so easily tempted into getting some sort of augmentation. Like they have I don't think they're going to have a problem with being augmented.
Well, like I said, I raised, I got a couple in the Army. Now they're in their mid-20s. They ain't going for that stuff. They're also, it kind of sucks when you're in a bad position. These boys are tall, handsome, have been working out, so and they've been watching my tutelage, like how I literally navigate in this entire realm. So they're a little different. And it's just a lot of, I think a lot of kids are, I'm leaning towards where you're at, Chris. And I get where the homie look, they're skaters and punk rock types, and we're going against the system, but it's like, are they going against the system?
Well, a lot of times those people wind up being part of the system, like without even knowing it. They are the counterculture created by insert name here.
Yeah, are they going to like, I'm going, we're
And I might be walking around the wrong places. You know, I'm sure I am. I'm sure there are some independent kids
Chris,
out here.
What if they're like, we're such rebel youths, we're gonna go to the no kings thing because no kings and blah blah blah. It's like,
Then they've already lost. We've already lost them.
and I'm not trying to project Lozen. I'm just saying, like, you know, depends. It depends on what metrics you're going by.
And it's also, I'm not a teen, so I ain't hanging out with teens either. So I could just be, that could be another reason I'm not seeing it.
I'd rather be like, they need a little guidance. So,
and doing them, that's cool.
I'm coming into an elder perspective.
Yeah.
And I'm going to provide these kids guidance, and I'll throw them $5, $10, $20. But hey, guys, let's go. Let's get out here and you see that tower? Burn it down. You see that over there? Take care of that. Boom. And that's a community thing, you know.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm definitely down with that. If they're self-sovereign, as long as they're aware, like don't be tempted by anyone coming around telling you you're gonna skate better if they give you a wearable or injectable.
Yeah, that's why you gotta have the elders in the fireside chats. They crush that. You gotta grab them every once in a while, one-on-one, and go, hey, little man. Like there's this one kid in my neighborhood. He kicked my door one time.
You told me about that. I remember that.
Yeah. And I know who it was because I'm a hunter. I'm like, I'm not letting this go. I will surveil my own neighborhood to find out what's going on. And I know the kid now, right? And the first time that he knew that I knew what he was, he waved to me when I was driving by, and I just looked at him like I didn't even wave back. But now I talked to him, and I was like, he's under my wing right now. If I need him to do some chicanery in a couple years, he'll do it. So does that mean he won't go with a wearable or VR headset?
Or that he won't get a shot to stay in school somewhere one day.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that much. I'm not saying I have that much influence. I'm just saying, yeah.
I mean, hell, look how many of our friends did it that I didn't think we were going to do it.
I told you, I mean, my daughter's built different too. She was the only person in her school with no mask. And when I saw the news one time, it said 2 masks.
Oh
as
my
soon as
God.
my daughter came home, I said, yo, was your teacher wearing a mask? She's like, yeah. I was like, was she wearing 2 masks? She's like, yeah. And I was like, let me guess, they were different colors so everyone knows that they were 2 masks. And she was like, yes. And we belly laughed at the absurdity of the whole thing together.
Do you remember when they tried to do 3? They tried to make it 3 after 2. They were like really pushing it.
I love it.
That was insane, man. That was some real insane shit.
So, yeah. Ridicule is a powerful thing, yo. Dude, my daughter and I, My daughter's never been poison darted. No mask wearing ever. Homeschooled now, and it's like, yo. But people like her, they're rare. They're the rare ones.
Well, and how old's your daughter?
She's 14.
So I mean, and probably a lot of that wasn't even like you would have had influence over her if you really wanted to. And a lot of kids that age are just doing what their parents are telling them, unfortunately.
Well, she is the daughter of a real dissident, like an actual dissident. Like she plays, Roblox and stuff with her friends, but she doesn't use a Windows computer, for example. Machine, and she's again a whole bunch of other things. So she moves a little different because she's had me as a father, and I'm not going for any of this stuff.
And I didn't mean it's unfortunate that teens are doing what their parents are telling them because they should at that age, but their parents are just, when they're idiots, it doesn't help.
Oh,
that's what I meant,
dude.
Yeah,
bro. I watched a video a couple weeks ago, random, and I was like, let me see what's going on. And I watched the whole thing because I couldn't believe how dumb this guy was. It was like Passport Bros, right? And you go live in the Philippines, right? This guy was what they call a boomer. I'm going to use the internet talk, right? It's probably in the 60s or whatever. Not a bad looking dude, though. And he went to like the Philippines and was like, met one first girl, and she had a kid. And she took him for a bunch. He had like $100 grand saved up, right? In a small pension. In 2 years, that $100 grand was gone. He kept getting with baby mamas, and he's like, my family. And he was like, and so my family needed a better place. And it's like, dude, and then they would take him for money. And it's like, this guy was also had a dating life coach situation. If you wanted to hire him to how to date women and stuff.
My God. And now he's running the Sean Ryan channel. Is that it? Sounds like Sean Ryan's story.
And this guy was not being ironic. It wasn't a bit, bro. It wasn't a bit. And these older boomer types, man, like, you gotta always be cool no matter where you go. But it's like, I bring that up because it's like the elders, and you're talking about parents, and you would think the seniors, and you think these people would normally provide you with wise life lessons, but they're freaking more clueless.
Yeah,
they're super clueless.
Yeah.
Unless you got some old country farmer uncle or some old guy that I've been at the sea, some guy who's been at the sea for 80 years, maybe those old dudes.
It's such a weird mix, man, because there are like some patterns in the age groups I've noticed that seem to be like in this critical thing, like capable of critical thinking, and then it seems to like drop off at a certain age, and it seems to come back again, and it seems to drop off. It's just like it's a weird, almost like sine wave of groups, and obviously it doesn't apply to the entire age group within those smaller groups of people. But it's just very strange how it seems to have like the ability to just think for yourself seems to have skipped certain generations, or a majority of a generation, came back, skipped, came back. It's bizarre.
Well, they've been psyoped for a long time.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, all of us have been.
Down.
So that's what I don't. It's like it's so hard. It's so difficult to understand where that difference is really coming from. And
Yeah.
obviously, we have theories for this for days when we start getting into the normie NPC sort of triplet of individuations that have been around since like the Valentinians.
Yeah. It takes a lot to stand up and be your own, come into your own. It takes a lot.
Fat guys in the woods series perhaps indicate a way to elevate divine masculine minds and teens, youth to get them back outdoors. Yeah. Be some of y'all in palace. Yeah.
Fat guys in the woods.
You see what happened with the convid stuff was that it seemed like there were people in the conspiracy that were more autonomous and more independent thinkers who had been that way for a while. Those people seemed to just be more strengthened in their views by what was going on in 2020, and then you had conservatives who seemed to hop onto that. But then when the Conservative Party got back into power, it's like now a lot of the people who consider themselves Democrats or leftists seem to be coming in towards the conspiracy, independent, autonomously minded group. But it's only because the opposite party is in power. And everything becomes a conspiracy when you hate the person who's and the group that's in power because you want your team to win and you're still bought into the system.
Yeah, that's why everyone is it coming from. Okay, so when you're like identifying your actions based on thoughts, is it coming from a scarcity perspective?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So you have it's I mean, when it's a hive mind, it's hard to go, hey, individually, hey, it's yeah.
Essentially that sense of independence that you're feeling from certain individuals who are still attached to the system will easily just revert right back to what it was prior to 2020 as soon as someone they agree with is in power or in puppetry, I should say. It is like being paraded around as as representation.
Yeah, once you learn you got suckered, it's okay to admit you got suckered and then switch gears. There's ego involved. So there's scarcity mentality. There's ego involved in a weird way that I literally cannot even
Now,
relate to. Yeah.
I will say that you're more likely to have a continuity and mindset and find just like a more trusting individual, an individual that it's worth giving your trust to, who's likely going to be there when shit hits the fan on the conservative side of the aisle, because they're more likely to dislike larger government and want their various individual freedoms. So it does, I mean, you can look at it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why, like, I'd rather my parents be on that side of things at this point than the other if they were still part of still invested in the system.
Yeah. And if someone's like, yeah, this is where some of the pragmatic thinking comes in. if you're like is really into like a church, I'm like, I can still rock with you, man. I can still rock.
Yeah, I could exactly.
We just, not really trying to convert anybody to anything.
And I could hear people arguing, well, what about the right wing, the technocratic, tech bros that are all like, on that side right now? Well, I could guarantee you that the parents of people our age, the boomers and whatnot, they're never going to figure out any of this technology stuff. It's going to have to come in after they're gone. So I'm not too worried about them adopting the system. I also don't depend on them to stop it, but I do depend on them not being able to figure it out. And I don't think they're going to be using blockchain or anything like that in their lifetime. Like my father, Sage.
Know it.
They might be not knowing it. It might be contributing to it and not knowing it, but they're not going to knowingly at least like invest into exchanging cash for crypto and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not that saying that's a horrible thing to do, but if you don't know what you're doing and you're just like getting you a central digitalized currency, like, yeah, that's obviously not what we're trying to do here.
Yeah. Should our privacy resist?
No, and I would say that if you have parents who are more progressively minded, they might do it if it comes in the form of a welfare sort of universal basic income check. They might just accept it and figure out how to use it out of necessity, which, I mean, I can't fault them for that, but that's just the way it is. But you can start like logically seeing where certain people are going to be relying on the system and other people aren't going to be as easily reliant. Yeah,
that's been the whole point, to have them rely on their system. That's the reason to destroy everything.
But that's where I think you could I'm just trying to back up what you were saying, that you could start logically and pragmatically breaking this all down and seeing like, oh, I could still like mess with these cats over here because I could tell that they're not ever going to be totally hooked by all this just based on these like logical inferences and deductions and reasonings.
Yeah, and I get that none of this really matters, but also while I'm here, I told you guys I'm going to do my best to try. Does none of it matter? Okay, but I can't, how long can you just lay down?
I mean, it definitely matters if something like 2020 comes along again. Because we can't have that happen again.
Nah.
That has to be stopped immediately.
That's where the knowledge is power, man. That's where you got no terrain theory, versus viruses. You have to, that's where when you learn, everyone out there, most of the cast listening are like, yeah, we already know. But because we have legends in the chat. But most cats gotta know why do you think of a thing? Look in the terrain theory. Again, you might not see one TikTok vid. It might take you a couple weeks or a couple months or a couple years to get tapped into that. So when cats bring to you viruses, you're like, see you later. Contagion, one person to another, see you later. And then you've pulled away from big pharma, right? And then you go, cool, I'll make my own gas. I'll even have a wood gasifier. I'll have a distillery. Boom. I don't need y'all energy. I have my own gas fuel, literally. See you later. Boom. Space and all that's fake and gay. See you later. Boom. Financials. I don't need your money. I don't need your central banks. I don't need your currency. I don't need nothing. I got my own. What do you mean you got your own? We made it. It's called Pirate Chain. Okay. We made it ourselves. So not me, but you know what I mean? We don't need that. See you later. We don't need permission. We don't need permission from like a Gates type person with who is a nepo baby, right? His parents were had the Planned Parenthood stuff. His dad stated transhumanist, stated depopulation cats. Bill Gates is not smart. He didn't
Nah,
invent.
he's a dumb mother. I mean, he's smart, and I think he did invent fear and anxiety based advertising, but it was called it was basically more so programmed, I think, into Microsoft so that it would have you have a pop-up come up and say, if you click this, you're going to get a virus, so don't click it. And that eventually then was pushed into more so advertising campaigns. So he did come up with that little idea, I think, but I'm sure that was around in different forms before he brought it to a computer.
Yeah, they create they're the Hegelian dialectic. You know, they create the problem, have the reaction, here's the solution, and that's one of their little things. Is that seems that they run, and that's just one way of doing it. So my point is, even mentioning that dude is he's gonna be like, you got a KYC? Nah, close all the windows. See you later. You know,
how about you, KYC, Bill? How about we how about we check you out and see if you're who you say you are?
Are you cloned? You know.
You and your wife switch spots at any point?
You and
I've heard that one, and it's weird. It is weird.
Kevin Klein or whatever. Yo, your wife Kevin Klein and shit. Like, yeah, let's check you out biometrically.
Yeah.
Or just no, beat it, nerd. How about
get out of here, you dork. You freaking loser, man.
And but they hire their goons too. Let's not, they do hire goons that, and I'm thinking like, again, I want to hire my own goons. Goon versus goon.
Ian Howard, he could be. That was one idea I've seen attributed to him I heard he was a shit programmer, couldn't do any of that other shit. But, it's also, I'm sure these families of these bloodline families that his family, I don't even think is that high level of anything. But they've been taught these deceptive tricks and advertising techniques and programming techniques forever.
Double speak.
Yeah, I was probably passed on to him by someone in his family.
Oh yeah. Yo, Chris, let's get out of here, man. Dude, it's 11 o'clock.
Is it? Yeah, holy shit.
We came in with like hardly no material, man. I was like,
we crushed.
I think we did good.
We did good. Tommy Rogers. 60, 70s, yeah.
Howard.
60s, 70s, 80s, man. I grew up in the 90s, but still good times.
Shout out Hosewater. I was raised on Hosewater, yo.
Hosewater was chill. Probably never was chill, but it seemed like it was.
Source material, germs are fake and gay. Terrain theory all day. Let's go. Shout out to this homie AI. We got an AI bot up in here talking about. Sure. Okay.
Oh, I think he's talking about that clicking I was talking about earlier.
Huh?
He might be behind in the chat a little bit.
Okay. I thought it said AI. Alpang. Alpang.
Alpang 1300.
Shout out to the Alps. Let's get out of here. We crushed. Great show.
Appreciate you guys for coming. At Lazen, thank you for bringing challenging questions and ideas too. I don't mind that ever. Neither of us do.
Yep. We don't mind opposing opinions here as long as you agree with every single thing that I bring up. We're open-minded as long as you agree with me.
And I was gonna say, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater with with the germ stuff only because of parasites and whatnot, and that's kind of related in a way. But I don't want to open up a whole can of worms here.
Get rid of parasites that'll heal 99.99% of anything that ails anyone out there. Parasites, bro, but you're right. Let's not talk. Let's not get into that topic.
Yeah, there's not saying by the virus thing, but I wouldn't also go into a situation unsanitarily if you're trying to operate on someone. I would still clean your hands just in case. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's get out of here, man. I appreciate you, Christopher.
Appreciate you too, brother.
Dude, we ranted solid for 2 hours straight, dude.
Had to be done.
Had to be done. Blessed, we're out of here. I'm gonna play this song. You can listen to it or not. That's fine. Y'all check out Chris Miner's channel. Make sure to hit the like, man. This is the Ronin Experience. This is a family business.
Yeah, follow, like, subscribe to everyone's channels. Listen to some of my old music so I get some money on streaming because I need it desperately. Send Ronin some money. We all need help.
Money, dude. Give me money. Give me money.
Still need hygiene. Yes, exactly. I agree.
Dude, send me your money. I know what to do with it. Have you not figured that out yet?
I mean, we'll let Ronin invest in stuff, and then he can divide it back out. We can be like our own little mini BlackRock over here.
Absolutely, yo. Square in the circle, but all right.
Oh, he said, "Where can he give you your dollar?"
Dude, I think in the description I put my I put my Cash App and Venmo, right? It's DeFi Mystic. It's in the thing. Just send $1. You know,
Yeah.
Either send $1 or $10,000.
I'm sure both of us have it in our about sections of our YouTubes. I know.
Yeah.
I have one page you can do it on.
Chris, I told you someone was trying to break in because I have my info. See, this is why I like privacy. I don't even like asking for money because now people are banging on my Venmo talking about they want to reset my password. I'm like, come on, y'all. Crypto, they can't do that, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Either just give me $1, no more, no less, or 10 to 15, 50K, 10 to 50K. But just $1. If you're a whale.
You could set up a buy me a coffee thing too. I have that now.
Oh man, I spend so much money on coffee. It's not even funny.
But they do that buy me a coffee app where they can send you money on that.
I know. The last thing I need is a new app, but I'm aware of it. I've seen it.
Yeah, I made one. I have one of those, and I have a Venmo, and but you could send some crypto and pay on Venmo now, I think, if you really needed to.
All right, Starve the Beast. Keep your, don't give the robots what they want. Make them work for it. So much love and gratitude.
Exactly.
Thank you I feel like we got a couple new cats coming through and lots of old Ronin Experience OGs that know how we rock. No traceable equals non-tech.
Any way to send support physically. We need a PO box for Ronin. That's what we definitely need.
I always need a good t-shirt, man. Even if it's used. If it's a well-used t-shirt, I'll take it.
We'll get a PO box set up.
And what do people send us? Cash?
I have no idea.
Bags of diamonds.
Yeah, I think Balderson has to have one because as far as his house is out there, it's probably hard for him to get mail.
Send me some shungite, man. I need more shungite, yo.
But we'll try to set one up. I don't know where.
I'm trying to think. St. Louis.
It's funny how we neither of us want the PO box anywhere near where we actually live. So we'll have to have someone check it for us, but that's cool.
Man, it's been I appreciate you guys hanging with us. It's been a couple weeks. Chris, let's get out of here, bro.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.
To the chat, man. Now we're being weird. Now, let's not make it weird.
No, I know. Let's get out of here. Big love. Big love. Big love.
Big love later. Out. See ya. Bye.
I'm in that frequency, close my eyes, it's everlasting. The sweet serenity, in this moment I found heaven. I'm in that frequency, close my eyes, it's everlasting. The sweet serenity, in this moment I found heaven. Heaven's buried in me, project while I breathe. Gotta get to know yourself to know who you're destined to be. This sacred state of mind, mindfulness, I stress decline. Letting go of all these burdens, divine sermon, mind sight. Out the dark, I turn the light. Learn to love and sacrifice. Like I'm Christ conscious, living with the might. Meditate with Mother Nature, channel message from divine. Angels round me, be my God. All a part of God's design. I'm just flowing with the waves and changing my people selling mental change. Blinded by the matrix, pain programmed us all to rage the pain. Though healing just a breath away. I'm at the heaven's gate, a ceremony, how we celebrate. Some people too scared to just be alone, but that's your true home. Come atone in the zone, let the light feed your soul. Walk with oneness, God's flow. I got grace, I got faith, all this abundance on my plate. It's a blessing, shine my essence, life lessons lead the way. Hey, no, I'm spreading truth with the seeker, bringing change. Hey, gratitude, send praise. Open up the gates, paradise, heart space. Yeah, the bliss, take a breath, and I fade away. This is the path of the heaven's gate. Step into the light and then I fade into the background. Shown a sacred truth, so now I state it as a fact now. Once lost, now found. Chanting hum the holy sound. Higher frequencies that emanate the grace where hope abound. Pull up from the root, the energy illuminates the crown. Tethered to the stars, yet my feet are anchored to the ground. We are above and we are below. May this precious seed within your heart surely grow. May the waters from above the firmament nourish your soul. And I can't keep the secret from the world, I gotta make it known. Like an alchemical process, turning that to final gold. We're creating heaven in this moment as angels behold. Yeah, I sit and bask in the sun's rays and salute the Son of God on a Sunday. Hail Mary, Queen of Heaven. It's not for the swift, but those who endure. Salvation is sure for servants of the word. Heaven here and now, I unite with your crown. Walls tearing down like Jericho sound. When the saints come marching, do not be startled. The love will be non-partial, ascending on Mount Carmel. No mind carnal, I single light sparkle. Passing through the bottle, the God-man combo. I know God lead and follow wherever I go. Deep or shallow, reality ain't these models or constructs. It's all sus to call us. Activate rainbow body chalice. This heaven is God's presence, and the eye is everywhere, especially in my DNA. The Bible stare, they gon' say it's over here or over there. But the kingdom of God is within, we well aware. We prepare and make ourselves ready, holding a medi, praying and fasting, holding steady, approaching the closeness. The distance closes between God and I. Apotheosis, when in remembrance of God's presence. Even the most densest hell turn to heavens. The paradise is a paradox. It's where pairs and compares stop. I'm in that frequency. Close my eyes, it's everlasting.